All right, guys. How we doing? This is the Momentum Underground podcast. We got a new one going here. First off, it's obviously it's going to be a two-man show, but this first time around, it's actually going to be a one-man show. It's just going to be me. We don't have our boy Brian here, so episode 2 we'll have him on. So I guess this is going to be more of a like a really bad trial run, and just to see how well I can talk in a room by myself, and hopefully nobody around me thinks I'm going crazy. So let's see how it goes. First of all, I just wanted to let you know this podcast endorses and promotes a lot of good positive stuff, and one of the first things that I really want to bring to attention is this company called Equality for Eternity. A good friend of mine from for a real long time, my buddy Chris O'Brien. He's one of a few guys, and I believe his fiance, one of a few people that are fronting this this nice, somewhat local, just very independent company to just spread the word. And I believe what we have here is they sell wristbands. And we've all seen these wristbands, the wristbands that, the yellow for the Live Strong from our cheating friend, Mr. Armstrong, and then, the white cancer ones and stuff. These are a nice, like, red with a tint of pink, 2 lines in the middle, to support the idea that anybody that loves each other, that wants to get married, can get married. And if you give a shit about who wants to love somebody else, you're very weird. You're very weird to really care so much that you don't want other people to have a life that you have. It's very strange. It's so strange. I obviously don't understand it. I almost don't want to say that it angers me when they do that, but I guess obviously it does when people act ridiculously malicious and act like chimpanzees throwing their shit everywhere when they see 2 women or 2 men or whoever, displaying how they feel about each other, It's very strange. So if you don't want to be a weird, crazy, shit-slinging monkey, support these guys. Equality for Eternity. EqualityForEternity.com. They're $2. They're cheap. Show your love. Show that you are part of the evolution of where we're all going to end up going, okay? So get on board. Have some fun. Make some friends. Be gay. If you want to be gay. So, that's the first one. That's it, I have plenty of very, very, very close friends that are men who like men and are women who like women. Like it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, but it's almost like it's unnoticeable to me, at least. It's so normal that it's unnoticeable. You don't notice it. It's like, oh, these are my gay friends, and these are my this is my homosexual cousin, whatever that may be. It's just like I said, I don't know. It's just very strange to me. It's very strange, and I like that we're moving in a direction that just doesn't give a fuck. Some people still give a fuck, but eventually those people get weaned out. And eventually the majority makes enough of those minorities look like fools. And it's just how it's gonna go. You can sit in your sphere of hate in your closet, for the rest of your life, because it's not going to change anything, nor is it going to make anybody change their minds, So that's it. Go get those wristbands. First of all, what I wanted to try to do, at least a couple times in this podcast, the MUP, I guess I would call it, um, the MUP podcast, is I want to feature and give you guys a little tidbit of some music that because I love to explore music. I think everybody likes to explore music. Unless you're somebody that just throws a radio on and just kind of takes whatever's given to you. And that's fine too, I guess, but that's not me. I love searching for music. I love looking into bands that, are on the grind, working hard, and obviously have some talent, And you can say what you will about the program Spotify, but I've been using that quite a bit as of lately. And it's helped me find some good music. And it's helped me go and actually buy this music if I ended up liking it. So it's not that I have an entire library full of free music, which, I guess that is kind of the weirdness of it. And I don't think these artists get paid really jack shit from even these ads on Spotify. I've heard a little bit of controversy around this thing, but I still use it. I use it like I've used every other thing that lets me listen to a couple songs or a whole album. It helps you decide if you really enjoy it, and if you want to invest your $10-15 on it, you go and get it so you can crank it in your car, you can put it on your iPod, your MP3 player, whatever that may be, It helps you decide. You want to listen to the whole thing and it rocks? Go ahead, because it sucks when you waste your money. It sucks. You hate it. Because everybody's tried to sell their shitty CDs, at some point in their life, and they've gotten friggin' $2 from it, and it's disgusting. It's heartbreaking when you have to sell your CDs because they suck. And you could have avoided that by listening to just a few tracks, just to see if they were good, And the two that I wanted to really, the two that I want to throw at you, and I'm going to let it play, I'm going to let it go on in the background. There is this band. I think it's a 4-piece or so. It's an instrumental band, and I believe they're called Intervals. And I found them on here through just scoping through a bunch of different bands. And like I said, it's instrumental, so no singing and stuff like that. There's something about this I really like. I really like, it's aggressive music, but it has it has a great flow. They play in a lot of different modes that I like, and obviously when you listen to it, it's very reminiscent of stuff. This is kind of music that I think just it just taps into something that's like really simple in me, It's heavy, it grooves, it has kind of funky, weird time signatures, There aren't a lot of notes in the complexities of this music, at least in the rhythm section. So you can almost compare it to this like whole gent, whatever the frig that is, that whole gent movement, everything that I think rides on the coattails of like a Meshuggah kind of sound, But some of the riffs are pretty good. But I will say the flying star of this whole thing, not to take anything away from everybody else in this band, but the guy that really plays around with the signature sound of this is, I believe, one of the guitar players. And, on top of a lot of the rhythm sections, he, accents all of these different parts of the songs with, just either their solos or their melodies that are supposed to kind of, speak to you and move you on to the next section, like most instrumental bands do. Think of like a Liquid Tension kind of thing, or think of like a Greg Howe type of thing, You always have certain sections where they bring back a reminding melody, And this guy's really, really good. He's got some really good phrases, and as I said before, he plays in certain modes that I really, really like. They're super reminiscent of a lot of Dream Theater stuff. Oh, and there you go. There's a credit card. There's a credit card commercial on Spotify. So if anybody wants to get into more debt for no fucking reason, go and get this credit card, because we all want to live past our means. So come and get it. Just kidding. Don't go get it. So what the hell was I saying? Yeah. No, these guys are really good. You should check them out. I've only found one CD of theirs. They may have a little more. I'm not sure if this is their debut. It's only got 5 tunes on it, and they're quality tunes, man. They're really heavy. They've got some really aggressive sections, great musicianship with just like I said, the intricacy of like the drums and how everybody plays off of each other, and they just really have some really good guitar lines. I'm a guitar guy, and I really like what they do here. It's nothing that I'm saying is super profound and is going to change anything. It's a simple, nice, easy pleasure that feels a little bit like some other things that I'm sure we've already listened to, but they do it well, and they have their own touch to it. And not everything you have to listen to has to be the newest, most innovative, totally crazy, awesome, nobody's thought of, purest music, band, whatever, People can still write good music and just have a lot of influence, and you can tell that they're not ripping anybody off, So I like this. Check this out. Go to their Facebook, If you have Spotify, look it up. It feels good, Put it on in the background. Clean your friggin' house, do whatever. Just put it on in the background, Work out to it. It's awesome. It's really nice music, It's good. So check them out. Like I said, they're called Intervals. So yeah, I'll let this go, and probably get a little tidbit of this in the background if you hear it. I won't crank it too much. Not sure if I can even play their shit on here, so we'll find out if I get in trouble. I doubt it. Nobody who knows who the fuck I am. So let's see, and then the hell was I saying? See what I mean? This is crazy. Trying to do this by yourself. You got nobody to freaking ping pong with. It's incredible. It's difficult, but you know what? I guess it kind of tests. Just test yourself. The other thing that I really wanted to try to do on here was, just talk about some shit that's a little personal, because I think a lot of us obviously relate when somebody lets loose on some shit that's going on in their life. And I think a lot of people are easy to open up, but a lot of people are also easy to be reserved, and I think it takes a little bit to pull things out of them, to pull even certain positive things out of them. Some people don't even want to talk about like the good in their life or whatever, whether they recognize it, recognize the good or not. But I just wanted to mention something, like, at least for myself personally, this last week has been pretty cool. This last week, I've been working on trying to wrap up a small, like, little kind of coffee table book that I've been working on for way too long, for almost like 3 years now or so, or maybe 2.5. Either way, way too long for how many pages and what kind of friggin', crap is on these pages. It's like, it's taking too long. But finally wrapping it up, it feels good. It feels nice to finally be at the end of something, and just going to finally see it in some kind of a tangible form that I said that I've created it. I've done it, because I've played music for a long time, and and I've done albums and things like that, and that feels wonderful. And I think anything creative that you do, once you get it done, that's obviously the main goal, And I haven't had that in a while, nor have I ever had it in this avenue in writing. So I wanted to try to do it with that, and it's just it's a different type of feeling. It's a different type of gratification, and I don't know. It's just a different type of joy. So this week I've been trying to wrap it up. Working on the last couple pages, working on typing it on the computer, because I wrote the whole thing out in my own pad. And that, in combination with a couple other things too, like this last week I started school. I haven't gone to school in a long time, and I started school going for like blood work and phlebotomy and things like that, and some healthcare stuff that really, really interests me. And it's funny because I've told a couple people this, and I was kind of describing to them, like, everything's falling into like this really nice kind of space of just positivity. And I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to enjoy this. For myself, I'm really trying to enjoy this, but this very creeping thing that's like climbing up my back, that's almost telling me like this isn't going to last. Something's going to hit the fan. Something is going to screw you over pretty soon, you know? Whether I think that because it's happened before, or maybe in a sense that I almost subconsciously don't feel like I deserve it, you know? Why wouldn't I deserve it? I think I deserve it, you know? I believe I've tried to be good to myself, good to other people, and positive in the kind of endeavors that I go after, you know? It's very weird to think that you don't deserve something when you've actually worked for it, you know? That you don't deserve the joy that comes with actually giving your energy to something, you know, and seeing it come to fruition. But yeah, I mean, it's like such a weird thing, because I'm thinking of, you know, on the side of the school part, I'm thinking of school, and I've come to realize these simple illusions that I think we all definitely have, but it's just funny now that I'm able to actually recognize these things. And I told I here's the thing. I recognize that I was thinking about the class, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to. They call it sticking, you know, when you actually use the needle and all this, and you do the whole procedure with the patients and everybody, you know. I really want to get to the point where I can actually do that. I just want to do it, you know. It seems good. I want to be in that space of like total mindful focus on just what's going on, how to do the procedure right, you know, and also still be able to have some empathy and carry a conversation with somebody. You know, I want that test. I want to do that. I feel that I can with accuracy and diligence, you know. But this weird thing told me that this anxiety came over. It's like, it was almost telling me, are you going to actually be able to finish this class? Can you pass this class? Do you even think you can actually do this entire thing, you know? And it was weird, because I could literally I felt the anxiety of my lack of confidence in myself of going through the class, but I had a tremendous amount of confidence on actually doing the task itself, puncturing the skin, using the needle, taking the blood, the stuff that usually you would think would be the most anxious part of it, you know. And it's such an illusion, because I used to fall in that situation all the time. I used to fall into a place where I would tell myself I don't know if I can do this, and it would scare me to the point where I just didn't do it, you know? And I did that way too long. I did that for way too long. And I think it backed me up in a lot of certain aspects of my personal and professional life, you know? And, yeah, it's just ridiculous, you know? And I guess the whole point of this is just, this week has kind of given me new scenarios that I haven't had, obviously, before, that show me the old anxious ways that I used to have, and how they are kind of been demolished by my newer outlook on things now, you know? The outlook that I've tried to work on for so long, on having this confidence and being able to do these things, you know, and having conviction in all of the things that I want to do, and keeping my word on all of the things that I say, you know. And I don't know, it feels good, you know. It feels very good. And I know we all feel I know a lot of us can feel this way, you know. These crazy illusions that we put on ourselves, you know, this lack of belief in ourselves, and you know, it's just it can be debilitating, and it's a shame, because it's something that's sometimes really conditioned into you. It's punched into you incredibly hard, whether it's at a young age or whether it's like through your lifetime. You know, you start to believe, and you start to mimic all the negative freaking asteroids that are coming at you, you know, and hitting you, and just like, wow, I guess this is really it. I guess this is really how I am. I guess I should just kind of like act this way. I guess I should just not pick up the phone and do that. I guess I should not, get in the car and drive and see this person. I guess I should just not do all of these things, because I've told myself that I can't, because everybody else has told me that I can't. So fuck that, hell with all of that. That attitude doesn't serve anybody. It definitely doesn't serve me anymore. Absolutely anymore, It's invigorating. It really does, and I say this, I think, with a little too much ease, like, oh yeah, one day it just popped down. It's like, you know what? I figured out how to be a man, No, it's not that easy, But all I wanted to just kind of share really for now was just, just that part of it, just that little peak, that little moment in the whole grand scheme of things where you recognize the old self deteriorating and the new self kind of like coming to be. I think the wiser self, the stronger self, the you that lacks all, that is void of all persona, I like to call it. You're not putting on a persona. You are yourself, and what you are is capable of whatever you want. Totally capable of whatever you want. And how that is, hopefully you can track back to certain things that you have done that are good and that are positive and that have achieved, that you have achieved, And if you can do one thing, you can do many things. Fuck that. If you can do one thing, you can do a million things. It doesn't matter. But that's that was kind of something that I just wanted to throw out there. This last week has been pretty cool and pretty it's sparked a lot of reflection, and I try to reflect a lot. I try to reflect a lot, but I don't try to think too much. People have this saying of like, oh, you think too much into that, or you think too much. No, there's a difference between thinking too much and thinking too much and thinking deeply about something. There's nothing wrong with thinking deeply about shit. Believe me, I think it's too wrong to think too much. I have definitely thought too much about things. The small details in some kind of endeavor, or the small details in something that you want to do, are always the little things that scare you away. Because all those little things, there's a lot of those. There's only one objective and one goal. So if you just keep your mind on that one thing, it's very easy to just go for it. But it can be hard to get there if you're just always paying attention to all the little details, all the little pebbles that you're about to trip over. So yeah, I mean that's just kind of that. I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of us sometimes go through that, and I went through it this last week, and it just feels good. It feels good, and I don't want to come on here and share a bunch of negative BS and just say, this and that and this and that and what grinds my gears. You know what? Fuck it. Sometimes maybe that's how it's going to go down. That's how it's going to go down. The theme of this podcast is to not bullshit ourselves. Brian doesn't bullshit people. I don't bullshit anybody. And that's the whole thing with this. And whether we're trying to promote and invoke and put out some positive energy, along with that is going to come some real stuff that doesn't affect us in a positive way, that's very negative, that just fucking pisses us off. And sometimes aggravation just comes because you just want things to change for the better. You want things to go the other way, and it's just like leaning way too much on one side. But that's the whole thing with this whole podcast, this Momentum Underground podcast. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I contemplated for like a week, like just getting down on the mic. I don't even know if this thing is even going to go up. It could sound so stupid. Just, oh, why is Harry just talking to himself? He's just on a mic. Nobody gives a shit what he's talking about. Big deal. You went to school and you got over your anxiety. Shut up. Oh well, that's just it. But you know what? This is also the additional therapeutic process. You know what I mean? I've always talked. I've talked way too much my entire life, and I realize that I'm just not going to stop. So I might as well try to do something with it that has a touch of this egocentric thing to it. Oh, he's going to put it out on the internet. He thinks people will give a shit. I really don't. First and foremost, I think this is kind of fun. It's very fun. It's fun to try to talk about things. It's fun to have a conversation with people, and all that you're adding to it is the red button, which is record. That's it, Listen if you want, don't listen. But, that's what we're going to try to do on here. That's what I want to try to do on here, and I know Brian does too. We're just going to have fun on here, promote positive things, promote music, promote certain things in our own personal life that help us be happy, help us be healthy, and that just evolve our perspectives, and that's a really important thing for the both of us, and obviously for myself, and I'm saying it now, that's just it. That's the big goal for this mishmash freaking soup of whatever that this podcast is going to be. It could turn into something else eventually, it could something entirely different after a while. Now, I don't know what that is, but for now it's just throwing ideas back and forth and talking about things that we really like. I will say that what I do want to do, these podcasts aren't going to be that long. I'd like to keep them, between maybe a half hour or so, just because, I don't know, just for now at least it makes it easy. It makes it easy for us, we don't feel like we have to drag on for like 2 hours, like, oh shit, what do we talk about now? What do we do? What do we do? All these weird pauses, But as you do it, you get better, and hopefully we do it often enough where we do get better. But what I wanted to say was, what I want to bring on here, what I want to introduce into this whole thing is a section in the podcast where we do interviews with people, I mean, I think that's what a lot of podcasts do. They obviously have some people on there with certain insights that they think that people will enjoy and that will like, And, I got a couple lists of people that I think will do it. I know some of them say they will. And the variety ranges from like different musicians that kind of are actively playing, playing the clubs, playing the theaters, playing, the arenas, or no, sorry, not the arenas, but, just everything that a band grinds away at in the underground, I've been there and I loved it, but it's very difficult. And I want to bring on some people that have a tremendously deep perspective on that can share their experiences and just sit back and listen and enjoy, I have some people that I want to bring on to talk about certain different health aspects. I'm a huge health nut, and I really try to be as healthy as I can and try to research as many different aspects of health that I think I can introduce to bring myself to an optimal level, whether it's supplements, whether it's different vegetables that we don't have, or just different foods that we don't introduce, into our diets enough. And a lot of these things have really helped me. My metabolism is ridiculous, it's stupid because it's so sensitive, I think that's actually the big thing with me with health, is that since I'm so sensitive, I really have no choice other than to look into the healthier options, because I can't sit back and eat the things I used to eat, or I feel like total dog shit. And I'm active and I'm physically active, and I like to train and I like to go to the gym and do whatever. So to be your best there and to be able to do that at your best level, your diet is a huge aspect of it, So I want to bring people in to talk about different foods, supplements, different vitamins, all these different things that can advance you. If you want to get to the next level, or if you want to introduce something into your system that you think might help you focus more, study better, do the physical things that you do better, cycle, run, kick, punch, whatever kind of thing that you do, you get there from how you internally feel, So I want to try to help on giving people different options, with testimonials of like what really works, just a couple other people. Like I said, I have a list of different guests that I'm going to try to do, and whether they actually come here and actually do the interview, or I go to them with a little bit of equipment and we sit down and we do the interview there, and I might insert them into the podcast somewhere in between, so obviously none of these are going to really be live, I don't have the capability for that, but I think they'll still be fun enough to enjoy, and we'll get a lot of different variety guests in here, and people that I think all of us will really enjoy listening to and getting their perspectives, So I guess that's it, We're at a half hour, so I don't really know much else to go into. I did have a couple different things that I wanted to bring up, but I'm just going to end it now. Keep it at that. We don't have our right-hand man, Brian, here, so we don't even know how the dynamic of this is going to go down when he's on here, because I'm sure he'll elevate this greatly to a totally different level. So, yeah. Once again, if you want to move into the future and be a part of the future and not stay behind with the rest of the animals, the key to traveling through the portal and into the future of equilibrium lies in this red and pink wristband that you can buy at Equality for Eternity. Okay? Go down into eternity as a hero wearing Equality for Eternity. Okay? My friends, you should get these. Okay? You really should. As should I. How dare I tell you to get these, and I don't even have one myself. I'm going to do it right now as I'm talking to you. So, equalityforeternity.com. $2. You can do it, okay? And while you order these wristbands for your mom, for your father, for your brother, for your sister, okay? For your homophobic aunt, whoever it may be, you should think about maybe cranking some Intervals. Intervals is the band, an instrumental band that is incredibly good. It's just nice and simple and fun. That's all it is. That's what all music is. Don't take it so seriously, That's it. It's wonderful. It's great. It's heavy. Okay? If you like heavy music, get into it. It's heavy. All right? You'll love it. So, from me to you, Mr. Harry J, on the Momentum Underground podcast, episode number 1. Hopefully this didn't sound too stupid or really boring, and if it did, oh well. This is all what it's about, I'm sparring with the mic right now, okay? Hopefully I held my ground a little bit. So, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, enjoy your morning. Be optimal, be positive, and be aware, okay? We love you. I love you. Peace and love.